So we're coming to the point where we're coming at questions and answers. Maybe there is a question and answer already coming for our panelists. Because before we start with questions and answers, the ground rules was basically questions for ministry. So I'm not, and ministry representatives. So in panelists, we have Jan Spiders, a deputy, yes, Jan is here. We have a Laumasik, which she is a permanent representative from Latvia Science and Education Ministry to Brussels, the European Commission. We have Osvalds Budgovic, we have Armand Smerans, and we have Christoph Kuljavic. So all of those five would be happy to answer a question if they raise. So as I see, there's only one question being coming in writing, which was like, what was a key for a successful project proposal, and what, let's say, government could do about it? Maybe I'm, as a national contact point, I would say the key is not the, let's say, how to write a successful project, how to come with a great idea. So from the great idea, it's easy to write a proposal, but it's very hard to write a great proposal when you have a mediocre idea, what to succeed. But Jans, I think this question more addressed to ministry.
Oh yes. If I can answer the question about what is needed to create a winning proposal and what the government can do to help. First of all, I would say there is no unique solution to this. This is a topic that is equally relevant across all participating countries in Horizon Europe, and mostly for those who have not yet participated. It sometimes boils, and usually it boils down to sufficient project writing expertise. It is not uncommon to have either consultants, which is often a really expensive solution, but either without consultancy to write projects. Just an expertise from someone who has done. From the government side, what we can do to help, and what has impact for those who are, especially when it comes to business enterprises who often look at Horizon participation as a potential administrative burden with a really low threshold of success, especially for SMEs. As I mentioned, it was 4% right now, and it is similar across Europe. The government could alleviate the administrative costs for project proposals for first-time writers. But basically, it's mostly, yeah, that's about it.
I think Lauma raised her hand. Maybe she has a good idea. Yes, go on.
All right. Sorry, can you hear me? Okay, good. Well, first I want to thank all speakers today. I was indeed delighted. I can repeat what Minister said. We feel delighted, and because the occasion is good, and we feel good because as a research system, because I've been in ministry since 1999, I think. And I indeed can say as a system, we are mature. We are no adult people in framework program, which is very good feeling. So this means that we also, I'm sorry, we also ask questions and we provide answers like adult people, and regarding how to write successful proposal in highly competitive conditions, answer is choose the right idea. I fully subscribe. And I thank you very much to Mr. Meirans telling that, do research about your idea. Probably that idea is bright at your table, but you have to place that in the context of European research, innovation, and the global value chain. So do that hard homework, and indeed, probably we as research policy makers could provide some advice on, some support for that. I agree with Yanis, who said, yeah, you sometimes need consultancy to do the hard work for you. This doesn't mean that it's just a business consultancy. It could be research consultancy, but it does the hard work for you because probably you are the top researcher who need to invest your time in different side. Once you have the right idea, choose the right target and shoot the right target. So become very, very rational, because that's really waste of time and money, and all member states are reporting that writing Horizon Europe or Horizon 2020 project that really costs money, because it costs your time and effort, so that costs money. So choose the right target and put your right target in a right policy framework. And there comes what researchers usually say, blah, blah, blah thing, but that is a thing. This is policy framework. Yeah, it's green and digital transition or European resilience. Those are not just words. Those are policy targets. Mission targets are the policy targets. So put that in a right context. And then again, I switch back to Armand Meyrans, what he said, choose the right partner. I remember few years ago, the Czech National Contact Point presented very interesting analysis. And I think that every contact point can use this methodology of that analysis. Well, how actually the winning projects look from the statistical point of view. And you will learn things about the right partner in the right country, the right size of the partner. And after that comes, how can you sell yourself to the right partner? Here we are again back to ministry. So under those support actions, there definitely should be support provided for participating in brokerage events. Yeah, for promoting yourself. Once you have something, you have to promote yourself. Yes, and I fully agree with Armand, it will take you a few years. If you are not experienced in and well-known in the circles, that will take years, but don't give up, because that's the whole thing. Then there are institutional settings where we can get closer to industry. Those are joint undertakings, and those are European Institute of Technology, Knowledge and Innovation communities, or KICs, how we call them. Nothing prevents us to organize bilateral visits, to form the teams which really have something to ask them, and we can organize bilateral meetings. There could be virtual meetings, and I hope that science will help us also to switch back to personal meetings. It's absolutely important. You know the right people, you have talked to them, which helps you to establish personal trust. And then there is a national contact point. And we know, even if we mention you in presentation, just in the last slide with one line, it doesn't mean that we do not appreciate what national contact point does. The national contact point is your first advisor. And we hope that also during next programming period and structural funds, we provide sufficient support to national contact point. We would like to see this experience sharing, because we have successful project promoters and they have to share experience and to show the practical tips and steps how things are done. And the last thing is what I really like about Latvians, that we are rational. So the success rate, what was mentioned by Julien, basically reflects that. We are not shooting wrong targets. Once we prepare the project proposal, we go for something. And it also pays back if we prepare good project proposal, because then we also can refer back to national finance and to see probably we can use the seal of excellence, or again, that was mentioned by Jean-Eric. And we also considering transferring money to the Horizon Europe program. So basically, if there is a good project and we consider from the Latvian side that it is good project, it also can have additional boost because that's our money, which is sitting there and waiting for good project. So that would be my advice in short, but as I said, well, start with the national contact point. Thank you.
I think there was also a hand from Oswald, and there's Jan's hand. So, Jan, I think you're eager to talk, but Oswald has a hand before.
Not any longer, because
Okay.
perfectly addressed all the issues I wanted to rise up. And this is kind of very complex puzzle. And if one comes up with a bright research idea, scientific idea, she or he has to understand how his idea fits into that puzzle. And if it doesn't, then just find the right place for this. Okay, but yeah, Laumo was perfect. Thank you.
Jans, you've been...
Yes, I just wanted to add one comment on top of what Laumo said about the indispensable role that national contact points have in this, is not only do you have to find the right place for your idea within the confines of Horizon Europe, but also within the whole range of instruments that we have. And in this area, I want to know that one of the things that we have already done, and we are starting to see, I would say, first results and probably a direct influence on our success rate, which is above the European average, is that we have aligned our national research grant programs similarly in terms of evaluation of international expertise, etc., as it is in Horizon Europe. So we don't have a system where we have a different set of rules depending on the program, and which is also, yeah, of course, important.
I think we can now switch to the questions came in, and there is a question coming from Prorector of Riga Strategic University, Agrit Kiopa. So the question was how to address the ERC grants. This has been really tough question because throughout the FP7 Horizon 2020, there's no success in Horizon 2020. FP7 gave a chance that there should be. So we kind of building the muscles. What could be the answer? I think Janis could take over. From maybe my perspective as NCP, thinking about this philosophy, I think maybe we need to switch philosophically, that we need to grow it, not kind of by some strange circumstances just find it, but actually we need to grow it and focus institutionally, that within the 5 years, we need to send a mission to write one project from a country in ERC, and this could be a mission. But Jans, take it over. The Apollo mission's on your shoulders.
Yes, about ERC grants and way how we achieve capacity in there. One thing I want to note is that even though, as I mentioned in my presentation, we have five to six even 4 times lower ERC performance than in Western Europe. Still, even if we would achieve their level of ERC results, we have to keep in mind that we have a small research system, and even then, we cannot expect an ERC project every year. It is still something that we have a probability to get, and we need to increase this probability. But what I have to note is that from a national perspective, this is as Kaspars mentioned, not just about finding ways how to stimulate ERC successful proposals in our programs. It is about growing completely new capacity that we don't have right now. We have to increase our research capacity and our research, the amount of research grants that we have in order to increase our chances. But we have to, as I said, I have to note that it is still even if we would have Swedish levels of ERC participation, it will still each year be a chance because our system is relatively compact.
Do you consider there could be a ministry kind of push up for ERC grants submission, or ERC as a really large mission for Latvia?
When it comes to ERC participation, this is something that we, through our I would say target shift towards research excellence, will stimulate somewhat. And this is also something that is not just related to incentives that we have in our research programs, but something that individual research institutions and universities have to address in their internal strategies as well. There needs to be, from all players, a conscious effort to work towards it.
I would like to bring to attention to all participants that starting from this year, in Commission's webpage, there's a particular webpage dedicated for info days. So if you Google, it's the most easiest way to find it, because it's Horizon Europe Info Days 2021 EU, and it's collection of all information days, brokerage events across the Horizon Europe, in particular in new 2021 working program. So for those ones, I would really push for it to really follow this webpage, as well as follow the NCP webpage on a VIA webpage, so State Education and Development Agency webpage, where the national contact point is located. Do we have any new set of questions or some remarks? Yes, Lauma, you have a remark.
Yeah, all right. I already learned how to use it. Look, guys, ERC is the same thing, be rational. ERC competition is even double tougher than that one in collaborative research and innovation, which means that, and it depends on other level of recognition. That's a global, international level of recognition. In order to get into that game, you first have to make familiar yourself with ERC. And again, I see that's a place where ministry can come in. And it's for a reason. Minister mentions those ERC fellows and mentoring. You start with talking with people who really have those successful teams. It's not that small countries are kicked out by default, not at all. And again, remember our success story, Mr. Ambainis. So the case is that you are really in the frontier research and you have influential, globally recognized friends. Let's be frank about that. Yeah. Here's the recognition of the institution, and the point is so important that there's no problem for us to earmark money for option that researchers which have this potential from Latvia could join possible research team, successful research team who has got ERC grant. So, well, this is on our own expense. That's true, yeah. But that's what we can do. We can ask for mentoring if we feel that it's necessary and we could gain something for us. Again, be rational, but it should be explored in direct talks to ERC. And the third thing is, again, what Jean-Eric said. When we transfer money to Horizon program, we can earmark it. And if we know that there in ERC will be somebody who is ready to receive it from Latvia, we can do it. But I think that for ERC, we have to establish, let's say, the special focus group in Latvia, which analyzes how far and successfully we can go. Yeah, there's no need just to throw project proposals there and then to complain why we are not recognized. Yeah, that's let's say another league. That's a championship on the highest level, but nothing can prevent us for familiarizing ourselves with that. Yeah, thank you.
Saying Kristaps wants to throw himself in a fight, and I think he has a vision. Go on, Kristaps.
So I would like to just comment on what has been said here and kind of approve in a way. So knowing myself a lot of successful ERC grantees, I work in an institute that has got several ERC grants at several levels. I can confirm that ERC is kind of strategic decision. It's not something you make on the fly. You need to plan ahead. There are research institutes in a world that has a postdoc program designed for ERC applicants. So when you finish your PhD, you know that in 6 years, you're going to apply for ERC starting grant. That's really something that takes a lot of planning, a lot of effort to think ahead and to really work towards that. So it's a grant that really requires a lot of planning and positioning yourself, as Laumo correctly said, in international environment, seeing where you stand. And if you're not there yet, how you can get there, let's say in 3 or 4 years, and then get yourself ready for applying for this kind of big and really prestigious grant. Thank you.
Thumbs up. I think there was kind of a bit different question regarding the Brexit and its influence, but I think the Brexit is there's nothing new. The UK can stay out, and then it's associated country, and okay. Laumo has some insights. Laumo, please.
Yes, there is a very good post which says that here are work programs. Yeah, and so read first Horizon work programs because they are adopted. The second thing, so UK has concluded the free trade agreement with all its annexes. So the annex for Horizon program is absolutely ready. It's agreed, but it's not approved. And there are, well, political reasons why I'm not going to elaborate on that. So what can we do? We read what is written in the work program. We treat Horizon 2020 associated countries as they would be in Horizon Europe. So when preparing the project proposals, we can take associated countries, and we can take UK. The only thing what ends up and is important, when the grant agreement should be signed, at that stage, the legal procedure has to be finished. That's the only risk which should be taken. But otherwise, nothing prevents us for taking them into the consortia. But probably, maybe also, well, but that's a consortia thing. I'm not teaching you how to do that. But the thing is that at this stage, we treat them as they are in. That's my answer. Thank you.
Maybe as we are rushing out of questions, I want to throw a proactive, let's say provocative question to all three, let's say, successful players. I mean, would you bet that in the next timeline, or chances in Horizon Europe will be better than in Horizon 2020? So maybe start with Oswald and then to Armand and then Kristaps. What's your feeling? You know, is it becomes harder, or you say it's like you have found the niche?
I think it's complex. The national funding for science is going down everywhere in Europe. So we have to come with a situation that there will be more competitors. On the other hand, of course, we have certain experience. We have already established partners. So my, let's say, gut feeling is that we will have a slight increase of success rate in HE in comparison to H2020.
Good. Armand.
Yes, thank you. So I think that LMT managed to do very important homework during the Horizon 2020. So we at the point we are more incomparably more experienced than we were a couple of years ago, and I think that it brings and ambition that Horizon Europe will also give to us more opportunities because our understanding programs is on much higher level, and we also understand more precisely our role in that whole ecosystem. So we looking with good and positive hope for Europe and Horizon Europe. Thank you.
Christoph?
Yes, I can only confirm what the previous two speakers said. So also coming from outside to Latvia and after almost 10 years abroad, I can see that the competence and experience and expertise to attract European funding has dramatically increased over the last years. So people have learned from their successes, they have learned from their failures, and they've been able to implement these learned lessons into successfully attracting more grant money from Horizon programs. So also think for the next time frame or Horizon Europe, I expect also to be the same, if not even better than before.
Okay, so now with yours, I think you can kind of make a conclusions for today's meeting and have a reference on what just been said.
Yes, I wanted just to note about the potential success of Latvian institutions in Horizon Europe. If we only have identical share of Horizon Europe as we have in Horizon 2020, since the program itself is considerably larger, we are looking at not 115 million that we have right now, but 150, 160 million euros that we would obtain, which would be a considerable increase and a considerably increased role in our research and innovation system. So there is some leeway, some legroom on our ability to attract more funding from this program. On the other hand, what is still up to some degree of uncertainty is how well we can capitalize from different widening instruments in the new framework program that are three times more impactful than they were previously. If we manage to do that, I see our chances to easily repeat previous successes or even go beyond it.
I think it's very good note to finalize the meeting. I don't think that we need more comments or more questions. You know, it's really to the point. That's it. Let's go for next 7 years. The Horizon Europe is here. And we just need to go and submit the proposals and to find the partnerships. And a bit referred back to the national counterpoint if you need some advice. So thank you for joining both attendees and panelists. I think it was a very good starting. And from now on, it's official. That's it. Horizon Europe is launched and we need to start doing. So thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for leading the debate, and thank you. That was indeed pleasure. I feel very optimistic. Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.